Welcome to tutorial number 3 of the CIF Southern Section Financial Playoff Reporting System. In the subsequent tutorials we talked about the general overview and then moved on to the reporting procedures for the visiting school. In this tutorial we're going to focus specifically on the host school, which will complete the financial reporting system for any given game. You'll also remember that we used Vasquez and Salesian as the two schools of reference, and being that we are now at the host time to do reporting, we're going to type in Salesian. And notice upon typing the first three letters, Salesian will come up, and up comes the game of reference that we've been working with. From there we're going to go right into the game. Now you'll notice and remember that the visiting team has already submitted. Now their information the visiting team will not be populated on this screen because this is going to only be required for the host. Once we click Save Changes, the visitor's information will appear. And also keep in mind that this game would not be populated and would not allow Salesian to get in had Vasquez not already populated the visitor information. So with that, this looks very similar to our old original form that we used to report financials on. So we're just going to go through and we're going to type in some numbers. Say 85 general tickets. We'll say 60 on the student side. We're just going to say 200 on the officials. We'll say 100 on the security. We'll say 0 for physician, as that's very rare. We'll say 50 on the custodial. We'll say 0 on facility, as that's very rare. We're going to say 75. 25 score, 25 timer, 25 announcer. Ticket taker will say 25, ticket seller will say 25, and then that will complete the expenses. From there, we'll just double check our numbers to make sure it's like we wanted, and from there hit Save Changes. From here now everything will be calculated. You'll notice that your 85 tickets will now be multiplied by the $7 ticket price to arrive at $5.95. Your $60 times 5 equals 300 for your total revenue of $895, just for the host school, mind you. The expense items were also identified, just as we had populated. So we have a total revenue of $895 and total expenses of $475. Now, prior to clicking Confirm and Post, we'll notice that this actually is a profit game thus far. We'll see what the visitor expenses are to eventually see whether this game was a profit or not. So from here we'll simply click Confirm and Post, and then up populates our completed financial report with the host school information already populated and the visiting school information already populated from the prior tutorial. So you'll notice here that the mileage was captured from Vasquez's submission. The meals were captured from the CIF Southern Section staff submission, which was populated based on the pre-approval by the office and Vasquez calling in. So we also have the revenue calculated for the host as well as the expenses that we had typed in. From there you'll notice that everything is properly calculated on the revenue side as well as the total expense side, both host and visitor combined. You notice that this game ended up being a profit of $997.50, of which 20% is due to the host, of which 20% is due to the visitor, and 60% due to the CIF Southern Section office. And you'll see down here in the distribution of money that $397 is due to the visitor, which is their profit plus reimbursement of their expenses, C plus G, which we're all familiar with based on prior years. Perhaps the most helpful part of this new system for the host is on the very bottom of the screen. It's going to give you a synopsis of items that you need to do at the completion of submitting. It says Salesian owes Vasquez $397 based on this number in the distribution of money. The split plus the expenses. Salesian owes CIF Southern Section $598.50, which is based on the 60% split of the game. And finally, Salesian will owe the Southern Section office the unused tickets on the general side and on the student side. Now, if you'll remember, we assumed that Salesian picked up 100 tickets. They sold 85. 100 minus 85 equals 15. However, we're going to assume that all complimentary tickets were used, and in volleyball's case it's 10 tickets, so 15 minus 10 is 5 tickets. So we should receive, we being CIF, should receive a check for $598.50, 5 unused general, and 40 unused student tickets. That will be all that will need to be required via mail to the Southern Section office. No ticket control sheet is necessary, no visitor form is necessary, everything is captured on the web portal. A very green system in my mind, and please do not feel obligated to send any paper. It's all captured here. Once we have completed this, you'll notice that everything is complete, and you can use this button to print the page, which will be a nice reference for you and the proper documentation for you to submit to the Accounts Payable Office so that these checks can be generated to both Vasquez and Salesian. With that, that completes the tutorial number 3 for the host school, and as always, we welcome any calls and questions you may have. Call the Southern Section office. Thank you.